Hi and welcome back to this video. We're setting up Centrify Server Suite 2016 and the MFA for servers capability. In the previous two videos, we've been working with prerequisites, and we have a Centrify hierarchical zone, domain joined system with 5.3 plus. We have an identity tenant. In the previous video, we actually authorized a cloud connector. Um, eh, you know, Stepping back a little bit, the way the MFA capability works is that your domain joined systems don't need direct access to the internet or to the cloud service. This is all going to be brokered by the cloud connector, um, and the cloud connector is going to talk to the cloud service. So this configuration is quite common. It is used by organizations like ServiceNow. It's used by Microsoft in Office 365. So it's a connector-based infrastructure, right? The key here is that only authorized machines will be able to actually talk to the cloud connector. So in order for that to happen, we need to have, ideally we use a group in AD. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and create a group in AD that is going to have my systems. So I can actually go and um, you know create a role group if I want to. So let me just go ahead and use a computer group here, and I'm going to create my group, and it's going to be called MFA Computers. It's just a security group in AD with any scope that you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to this group the systems that I want to be able to do MFA. So in my particular case, I'm going to pick, instead of object types, I'm going to do computers, and I have a system called Linux 3. And this is the system that I'm going to allow to use a multi-factor authentication, right? This corresponds to a role in the identity service side, right? So now we have pretty much everything we needed on the AD side as it relates to computers. So in this case, I'm going to go to roles, and I'm going to create a role. So roles are used in identity service for several things, for what applications you can access and what can you do in the system. So in my particular case, I just want to enable these machines to talk to the cloud connector. So I need to be able to add members. And in this case, I'm going to pick from Active Directory. I'm going to pick my MFA. And this is my MFA computers right here. So the MFA computers from Active Directory is nested into this role, right? And in terms of administrative rights, the only right that I'm going to give it is the ability to do server login and privilege elevation. This is going to make sure that the objects in AD, in this case the servers, have the proper entitlements to do what I want. In addition, I want to make sure that my policies allow for integrated Windows authentication. So policies, I can change the default policy here. I just want to keep things very simple. So I can go to user security policies and login authentication. I want to make sure that IWA, or Integrated Windows Authentication, is set up, right? So this is actually set up. And finally, I want to verify and limit the cloud connector to the bare minimum things that we need in order for test MFA. So the cloud connector right now, as it stands, it has several things like an app gateway and the LDAP proxy. These things are not needed. So I'm going to disable the LDAP proxy. That's if you had an open LDAP that you wanted to use as an identity source. And I'm going to disable also the app gateway. The app gateway is not needed also as well. So in this case, I'm basically only enabling the AD proxy because the rest is not, is not something that I need. Okay, so this is going to take a little while to actually reflect here, but after a while, what you'll see is that the cloud connector only has the capabilities that are needed for this test. So let me go ahead and here and continue to disable the app gateway. Yes, and this is going to disable the app gateway. Anyway, so in the next video, we're going to talk about what we need to do on the on the access manager side, and we're going to do some testing.